One day, on a gloomy autumn evening, I decided to hear a terrible story. There was an abandoned mansion not far from me, about which there were dark legends. It was said that there was a secret hidden in it, connected with blood and the most terrible things. I decided to look around, and when I entered the mysterious mansion, I was overcome with cold and an unpleasant feeling of an ominous presence. Cobwebs covered the walls tightly, and dust, like a layer of time, lay everywhere. Moving further in the darkness, I heard vague rustles that seemed to be the responses of ancient echoes. Suddenly, in the far corner of the room, a picture of horror appeared in front of me, bloodstains on the floor, as if they sensed my presence and wanted to warn me. My heart was pounding with fear, but my uncontrollable curiosity pushed me to go further. As I progressed, I found an old magazine hidden under a layer of dust. It contained records of events that took place in this mansion many years ago. The pages of the magazine inspired horror and fear. The recordings told of dark rituals and sacrifices conducted by a mad sectarian. One of the rituals involved something terrible, an outpouring of blood from the lower strata of society to bring demonic power and patronage. However, in one of the entries, someone warned against the consequences of these rituals. He said that the demonic energy attracted to the place may require a return, since it is impossible to maintain a balance between the worlds. My hands were shaking when I finished reading. It seemed that the dark mystery of the abandoned mansion gripped my soul. I decided to leave this gloomy place, but encountering the ghosts of the past along the way, I realized that a terrible story with blood and creepy things will leave a mark on my mind for the rest of my life. As I walked through the gloomy corridors of the mansion, a shiver seized my body, and my hands trembled clutching the diary of horrors that I found. The recordings revealed an even more creepy and dark side of the place. Secret spells and curses passed here turned the victims into emaciated shadows, hungry for torment. Moving deeper into the mansion, I came across an underground cellar, which housed a macabre collection of dead bodies. Spiders played with skin and bones, as if they were also part of a dark ritual. I saw brutally mutilated bodies that represented the remains of victims of a sinister sectarian. Suddenly, a devilish symbol lit up on the wall in front of me, and then slowly began to blur. Under the pressure of terror, I recoiled, but the fiery figure pursued me relentlessly, as if opening a portal to hell itself. I felt his burning flame burning out my soul and destroying all my hopes for salvation. Writhing and bleeding with withering fire, the diabolical figure seemed to me the embodiment of hell on earth. But I couldn't escape from my dreams and nightmares. They haunted me, making me lose my mind. The world around has distorted, becoming illusory and unpredictable. The vision of an old grandmother who suddenly appeared in front of me turned out to be even more terrible and incomprehensible. She held the gun in her hands and, as if smiling senselessly, began to shoot. The bullet hit right in my leg, and I fell to the cold floor, staggering violently. The old grandmother continued to look at me with a sinister expression on her face, as if she was cursing me for daring to invade her secret place. My hopes for salvation collapsed, and I realized that I was now locked in this gloomy mansion, in mortal danger. My leg hurt from the wound, and I felt the strength leaving my body. Fear surrounded me from all sides, and I didn't know what to do. I tried to get up, but my leg wouldn't budge, and I was doomed to slow movement. An old grandmother came up to me, holding a gun pointed at my heart. Her eyes were full of madness, and I realized that she was ready to take my life without any regrets. She was infected by the same dark force as the mansion itself, and became an instrument of death and destruction. Suddenly, an ominous laugh rang out in the darkness of the abandoned mansion. The walls began to shake, and the ground melted under my feet. Because of the spell cast in the depths of the mansion, the forces of darkness awoke and began to slowly destroy this world. The scene in front of me became even more gloomy and destructive. The forces of darkness caused by the spell have penetrated into every corner of the abandoned mansion, turning it into a trap for souls exhausted by suffering. With the noise of destruction, the walls began to crack and the ceilings to collapse. as if the house was trying to swallow me whole. I could feel the ground melting under my feet, like flowing lava. Mad laughter mixed with my cries of despair. The old grandmother, with fiery eyes, continued to approach me slowly, as if she was authorized by the dark forces to collect blood. In her hands, the gun turned into an artifact of revenge, ready to sow destruction and fear. The world around me was distorted, becoming more and more illusory. What seemed to be reality turned out to be only a shadow of nightmares, and every step in this abandoned mansion became a test for my soul. In desperate attempts to escape, I tried to find a way out of this black trap. But the walls moved, and the passages changed, as if the forces of darkness wanted to keep me in this cursed place. Every moment was filled with suffering and fear. I felt the forces of darkness penetrating my soul, forcing me to see horrors and nightmares. My thoughts became blurry, and I didn't know what was reality and what was an illusion. With every step I took, the destruction covered more and more space. An abandoned mansion that was once a place of dark rituals has become an arena of death and destruction. The forces of darkness were jealous of me, eager to get my soul. They danced around me, and I felt the time had come to an end. My life was just a drop in the ocean of this gloomy place. And so, I found myself trapped in this world of nightmares, a prisoner of a dark force ready to devour me entirely. My soul will remain a prisoner of this abandoned mansion, and fear and horror will become my eternal companions. This was my last note, and if anyone can hear or read it, then know that I urgently need help. I am trapped in this cursed mansion, where the dark power of fear and horror rules. I feel that the old grandmother, infected by these dark forces, captivates everyone who gets here to keep them from escaping. Her sinister laugh, fiery eyes and a gun turned into an artifact of revenge are all part of her curse. She is eager to seek blood and will not allow anyone to escape her sinister influence. It has become an instrument of death and destruction, and everyone who gets here becomes its victims. If you come across a place in America that seems strange and abandoned, never go there. This is probably the mansion where I was locked up. Be careful, because the old grandmother will find you, and her dark forces will swallow you whole. Help me if you can. Find a way to break her curse and free me from this darkness. I pray you, don't leave me alone amid the nightmares and fear that engulf this gloomy world. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you liked this video, so you will always be aware of new terrible and exciting stories. Scary adventures are waiting for you, and a subscription will help you not to miss a single dark moment. Thank you for watching, and see you again. Terrible meetings.